Fake HOA police beat up my cousin at the ranch gate, then freeze as my dad walks out in full sheriff uniform. People always think small towns are quiet. They picture sunsets, front porches, lemonade in mason jars. But no one ever tells you what happens when someone decides they rule the neighborhood. No one talks about the Karens with clipboards, barking orders like they were born into authority, and certainly no one expects a fake HOA to spark a public reckoning. But that's exactly what happened on the day my cousin Eli got jumped by a woman with a plastic badge and a God complex. Eli had only just moved in with us a few weeks prior. His mom, my aunt, passed away suddenly, and since I lived with my dad, the town's sheriff, we took him in. It was a change, sure, but we're tight. Family comes first. We live on the outskirts of Lakeview Ridge, a gated community with enough self-importance to think they were the capital. My dad had always said they act big, but break the law once, and I'll be there faster than a county citation. Little did we know someone was about to test him on that. It started on a Tuesday. Eli was coming back from his morning run, headphones in, shirt soaked, trying to get his rhythm back. Just as he turned into the driveway, a silver SUV screeched to a halt across the road. The door flung open and she stepped out. Tall, platinum blonde bob, tennis skirt too tight for any actual game. Clipboard clenched like a weapon. "Excuse me," she shrieked. Eli paused, pulled out an earbud. "This is private property. You don't belong here." He blinked. "I live here." She narrowed her eyes, stepping forward like a prison warden spotting a jailbreaker. "I know everyone who lives here. You're trespassing." "I live with Daniel and Sheriff Lee," Eli replied, patience thinning. That's when she shoved him. I heard the thump from inside. I was brushing my teeth when my dad yelled from the kitchen. "That's Eli!" He barked, already halfway out the door. I followed him, heart pounding. By the time we got out front, Karen was standing over Eli, who was sprawled near the gate, dirt and gravel scuffed into his elbow, a long red scratch bleeding down his forearm. "Get off my son!" my dad thundered. The woman froze, like an animal caught mid-maul, her hands still half raised. Then her eyes locked onto the badge. The real badge. Sheriff's jacket, gun holstered. Every fiber of my dad's 6'4" frame, radiating justice. He was suspicious," she stammered, stepping back. "You assaulted a minor on private property," Dad said, voice like steel. Eli struggled to stand. My chest boiled. "I'm the president of the HOA," she snapped, trying to regain footing. "No, you're not," my dad replied. "There is no HOA in Lakeview Ridge." And that's when the unraveling began. It didn't take long for the lies to fall apart. Dad had her sit on the curb while he called dispatch. Her ID fake. The badge on her shirt bought from Etsy. The clipboard, just scribbles and threats, no signatures. No backing. Turns out, Karen, her real name was Deborah, had taken it upon herself to form a neighborhood committee that she ran like a dictatorship. No elections, no paperwork, just fear and entitlement. She'd issued fines, banned decorations, harassed delivery drivers, and no one stopped her because she acted like she belonged in charge. We thought that was it. But a week later, we got a call from a woman named Mara, living 6 blocks down. She'd seen what happened and had her own story. Karen had broken her Halloween decorations and threatened to call immigration on her landscaper. Another neighbor came forward, then another. Within days, my dad's office was flooded with complaints. Over 24 households, all harassed. Some fined, others threatened, and worse, a few older residents had paid those fake fines out of fear. Karen wasn't just a busybody, she was a con artist, and she'd built a fake empire on intimidation. Dad couldn't arrest her on hearsay, so we got smart. We started building a case quietly. Eli and I went door to door, collecting stories. One neighbor gave us a photo of Karen spray painting over someone's mailbox number. Another had footage of her pulling up signs she didn't like. I created a spreadsheet. Dad got a warrant, and we uncovered everything: fake bank accounts, forged letters with a fake HOA seal, even an invoice addressed from Lakeview Ridge Management that traced back to a P.O. box she owned. She'd made over $14,000 in bogus violation fines. It hit the local news like a firestorm. Headlines exploded: fake HOA president exposed in Lakeview Ridge scheme. Interviews with frightened residents aired nightly. Comment sections lit up with fury. The outrage was palpable, but it wasn't over. Deborah Karen hired a lawyer and went on the offensive. Claimed defamation, said she was misunderstood and just trying to bring order. Her case pathetic, and the judge saw through it. The trial was swift. With my dad's badge, the resident's testimony, and the forged documents, she was indicted on fraud, impersonation of a public official, and assault of a minor. They led her out of court in cuffs. That moment, seeing her sputtering as reporters shouted questions, her sunglasses slipping, makeup smudged, felt like justice. Not just for Eli, but for everyone she intimidated. But what happened next? That's what really mattered. After her sentencing, Lakeview Ridge came together. We formed a real neighborhood council, democratically elected, diverse, and inclusive. Eli helped design the new welcome guide. Mara became the council chair. The gates stayed open longer. More kids played on the street. Neighbors who hadn't spoken in years started organizing cookouts. The fear Karen built crumbled, and in its place, something better grew. People sometimes ask me, was it worth all that for one push at a gate? They don't get it. It was never about just that moment. It was about what happens when someone grabs fake power and starts to believe they're untouchable. It's about what happens when silence becomes complicity. And it's about the moment truth shows up wearing a real badge. My dad once said, justice isn't always loud, but it's always real. Now I know what he meant. The end.